In every school, there's always one story, one room you're told never to enter. At my old high school, that was the Balete Classroom. It wasn't just a room, it was a cage. An old, forgotten classroom swallowed whole by the twisting, grasping roots of a giant Balete tree. The door had been sealed for as long as anyone could remember. But the stories never left. They said if you walked past it at dusk, you'd hear the scraping of chalk against a blackboard. A lonely, frantic sound. Sometimes, it was the heavy drag of a desk across the floor, or the soft, heartbreaking sob of a young girl. The old-timers in town whispered that the tree didn't just grow around the room. It grew because of it. It was feeding on a memory, on a tragedy that refused to be forgotten. Tonight, I've come back. I'm not a student anymore, but the pull of that classroom, of that tree, is stronger than ever. The school grounds are different after dark. The familiar, cheerful buildings look like sleeping giants, their windows like closed eyes. But one part of this school is wide awake. I can hear it. A rhythmic, hollow sound. Knock, knock, knock. It's coming from the Balete Classroom. The moon is a sliver in the sky, casting long, skeletal shadows. As I get closer, the air grows cold, thick with the smell of damp earth and something else, something like old perfume. The Balete tree looms over me, its roots like a knot of petrified snakes wrapped around the brick walls. They're so tight, you can barely see the windows. The knocking stops. Silence. A silence so heavy it feels like a weight on my chest. My heart is a drum against my ribs. I shouldn't be here. Every rational thought is screaming at me to turn back, to run and never look back. But curiosity, or maybe something darker, has its hooks in me. I walk the perimeter, my hand tracing the rough bark of the tree. The roots, they're not still. I can feel a faint vibration under my palm, a slow, almost imperceptible tightening. It's like the tree is flexing, shifting its grip, protecting something or trapping it. Then I see it, a small gap in the roots, just big enough to peer through. It wasn't there before. I'm sure of it. It's almost like an invitation. Taking a deep breath, I press my face against the cold, rough bark and look inside. Darkness, complete and total. I pull out my phone. Its weak light cutting a small circle into the void. The beam lands on an old wooden desk, then another, all arranged in neat rows, covered in a thick blanket of dust and leaves that have found their way inside. Everything is frozen in time, except it isn't. My light pans across the room and catches the blackboard. My blood runs cold. There's writing on it, not old, faded chalk marks, but fresh, white letters, as if written just moments ago. It's a child's handwriting, frantic and messy. It repeats the same word over and over. Too long. Help. A shiver runs down my spine. The air inside is freezing, a stark contrast to the humid night air. I sweep my light across the room again, faster this time. Desks, chairs, a fallen bookshelf. And then I see her. In the far corner, on the teacher's chair, a figure sits, a small shadow, almost lost in the deeper shadows of the room. Long, black hair cascades down, hiding its face completely, pooling on the dusty floor like ink. It's perfectly still. So still it could be a mannequin, a cruel joke, but I know it isn't. I can feel a presence, an ancient, sorrowful energy radiating from it. The sound of my own breathing is deafening in the silence. My voice is a dry whisper, barely audible. Metal Badito, is anyone here? The silence stretches, and for a moment, I think I imagined it all. Then, the shadow moves. Its head tilts just slightly. A voice, soft and brittle like dried leaves, answers from the darkness. It's a girl's voice, filled with an emptiness that chills me to the bone. Wallana, no one's left. My relief is cut short as she finishes her sentence, her voice dropping to a haunting whisper that seems to come from all around me. Pero Nandito Paco, but I'm still here. Don't forget to like and subscribe Hollow Voice for more chilling tales. Behind me, the Balete tree groans. Not the sound of wood settling, but a living, guttural sound. The roots I'm pressed against begin to move, to crawl over one another like a nest of awakened pythons. The gap I was looking through starts to shrink, the woody tendrils weaving themselves shut, sealing me in with the darkness. The roots are crawling up the walls, over the windows, their shadows dancing in the dying light of my phone. Panic seizes me. I scramble back, but the tree is faster. Its branches descend like grasping fingers, the leaves rustling with a sound like 1,000 whispers. I can hear the chalk again, scratching furiously on the board inside. The sound of dragging desks, louder now, more violent. And above it all, the soft crying has turned into a wail of pure, unending despair. The Balete tree wasn't just a cage, it was a tomb, and its ghost was never trying to get out. She was trying to pull someone else in. And now the door is closing. If you have a local horror story you want to share, let us know in the comments. Stay safe.